I'm Trevor Alonzo, and this is my review of Halloween Kills. Yes, I know it's past Halloween. I did see it before Halloween, but we were super busy making Halloween costumes this year. This is the third movie in this continuity, so technically it's Halloween 3. This takes place right after Halloween 2018, going later into the same night. Michael Myers has escaped from his fiery trap, only to wreak havoc on Haddonfield again. This time the townspeople are mad and want revenge. They form a mob to go after Michael Myers, to stop him once and for all. And they chant a bunch of times, "Evil dies tonight." It could almost be a hashtag. I don't want to give away too much until spoilers. Most of the movie, Laurie and her family are at the hospital. It's nothing like the original Halloween 2 where it takes place at the hospital. I guess some people thought that might be the case. This movie isn't the worst Halloween, or the best one. I didn't hate it. The story is alright, this time focusing on the townspeople being affected by Michael. But that's a real different tone from the last one, where Laurie seems to be the only one really affected. Everyone else has moved on, or they say, hey, that happened 40 years ago, let's let it go. And this one they bring back every character or actor that's still alive from the first movie, and say how affected they were since the first one. The last one, Laurie was the only one ready for Michael. And this one there's a grief group that's made up of the two kids that Laurie babysat, the kid who bumped into Michael and apparently bumped into Michael again with a flashback, the nurse who was supposed to help Loomis transport Michael, but he escaped that night. I was wondering, why didn't they invite Laurie into their group? Or did they think she's too extreme? Also, if they were so affected, why didn't some of them just move? Or think, why are we getting together on Halloween night? This is the most traumatizing time for us. That seems more traumatic. I do really like the flashbacks to 1978. They got everything exactly the same, even felt like the same lighting. They had an amazing Donald Pleasance look-alike. Apparently it was makeup and not CGI. At first I thought, oh, this is CGI, he's not going to talk so it doesn't look bad. But he talked and it looked great, and it turns out it's a double with a lot of makeup. And I was surprised by that. The main message of the movie was that mobs can be bad. They made this in 2019, but it's off-putting in some scenes where they act like mobs are great. In Halloween 4, they kept the mob tone the same throughout the whole movie, and they weren't trying to do a message. Michael Myers is great in this. They didn't change his backstory, which is always great. They kept it the same from the last one, going back to being just a killer with no cause. But I have to agree with Joe Bob Briggs. They made him a tank. I keep going back and forth on, did they make him too strong? I will say definitely at the end of the movie. More on that in the spoilers section of this review. The kills in this movie are great. I didn't like how some of the characters were introduced and then crammed with emotion, only to be killed about 5 minutes later. If you're gonna give them emotion, leave them on the screen for a longer time than just 5 minutes. Jamie Lee Curtis was great for the time that she was on screen. Judy Greer was great as Laurie's daughter. I liked her scene going through the emotions in this movie. Andy Machagek was great as Laurie's granddaughter. The music is great, once again composed by John Carpenter himself. Yes, the original director from the first Halloween. He created the music for the original Halloween, and it's kind of become the theme of Halloween itself as well. Like almost every haunted house plays this music. And kind of got a second strive in his career just doing music. I do recommend checking out his albums. Again, this had a different tone to the last one. The original Halloween 1 and 2 can be cut together to almost make like one movie. But these two are totally different. One thing to remember is Halloween Ends is next year. And this movie feels like the first part of another movie. Almost like Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. Okay, for spoilers. Laurie doesn't see Michael in this, which I think disappointed some people. Again, next year she's probably going to face off with Michael Myers. The saddest death in this movie is definitely the mob going after the wrong guy, thinking he's Michael Myers. The guy jumps so he doesn't get killed by the mob. Laurie's granddaughter and ex go to the Myers house. Since all of his kills are leading up to that way, I thought to myself when I figured that out, like, why didn't they tell the rest of the mob? Or give the police this information? The ex and his dad are killed off by Michael Myers. Laurie's daughter shows up to save her daughter, leading Michael to a chase down the street, only to be surprised by the mob. The mob starts to shoot and beat Michael. As Michael is laying on the ground, Laurie's daughter stabs him in the back. She walks away to go to her daughter. A moment later, Michael pulls a knife out and gets up and kills everyone that beat him. I thought, okay, why didn't they keep attacking all at once? Or keep shooting him? At this point, he's killed somewhere around in the 20s. He's a danger to especially everyone right there, so just keep shooting. This is where I thought they made him a little too strong. Laurie's daughter sees her daughter get into an ambulance. As she looks at the house, she sees a young Michael Myers for some reason. It's not explained. She goes into the house. She goes into the room where Michael first killed his sister years ago. Michael shows up all bloody and bruised and beaten and kills her right away. The movie ends. The end credits does have a song that sounds like a 80s song that's usually played at the end of horror movies. I thought that was kind of cool. Again, I don't think this is the worst or the best Halloween movie. It could have been better. The tone is a little different than the last one for taking place in the same night, which I think works against this movie. And I know this feels like the first part of another movie, but for being the same night, it should have kept the tone the same. They could make Michael Myers a little bit less strong. I give this movie a 6 out of 10 pumpkins. I still like it. Go check it out. Just know it's different, at least to the last one. Thank you for watching my video.